Hold on. Here you go. There you go, Gizmo. Good. You want one more? Okay, slow down. No one's going to take it from you. That's what my grandma used to say when I was eating so quickly. So this is Gizmo. I'm guessing Gizmo is at least 7 years old. I think he could be 6 something, but I'm thinking he was probably closer to 2 years old, if not older, when I rescued him in January of 2020. And so I want to talk about, what do you do for your seniors, especially if they start losing weight? Now, it's perfectly normal for your senior piggies to lose weight. That's one of the ways that we are able to determine that they are in fact seniors. Because if you were to look at Gizmo, he's very small compared to the big pig he used to be. But if you were rescuing a pig that you never seen before, here, come here, then you wouldn't know that he used to be so big, and you think, oh, maybe he's young because he's so small. But when piggies get older, they start to lose some muscle tone. They get these bony hips. He has lost so much weight that his spine is being very bony. So I want to talk about that. Now, he had been to the vet a few months back, and they thought, well, maybe he's just not feeling good because he has arthritis. So he was prescribed daily Medicam or Meloxicam. And I got permission also to experiment a little bit with acetaminophen. I've been giving that to Fuzz for his dental disease, and I thought if Gizmo is in pain and the Medicam anti-inflammatory is not doing enough for pain, then we could try other avenues, and potentially switching up pain medications or doubling them up can help, because maybe doing the same drug over and over is less effective. Also, combining 2 different drugs that sort of approach the problem differently may be helpful. But what can you do to help put weight on? Well, you can see I'm giving him supplemental critical care. And you notice his eyes are kind of sunken. So this critical care, instead of using water to reconstitute the powder, I used pediatric electrolyte mix. So that may help him with potential dehydration. Now, on some level, there may not be much you can do. I promised Gizmo that I would take care of him for his whole life, and aging is just a part of it. So another thing you can do, so I love these healthy snackers. Right, they're made by Small Pet Select. What I like about them, my pigs really like them, but if you put a little bit of filtered water on them, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. I had to sneeze. Oh, there's another sneeze. Am I over it? Am I gonna sneeze? Okay, I think I'm over it. If you put a little bit of the filtered water, just a little bit, then these get soft. So they're great for pigs with dental issues, or maybe who have arthritis in their jaw. It also tends to bring out the flavor. So just moistening them up a little bit makes them really appealing. Here, finish this one before you start the other one. Hay-based cookies, hay-based treats, I think are really good. People also recommend rolled oats for putting on weight, as well as, pea flakes. I think guinea pig food brands like Oxbow make a senior blend, which has, if I'm not mistaken, more protein and less calcium. So this is Benebac, right? It's a beneficial bacteria. Most of my pigs really love it. So how it works is you unscrew it so you see a line, and that is 1 dose. And then if this is up to the tip, when you squeeze this out, it stops it at basically 1 dose. And most of my piggies, I'll let them finish this, really like this Benebac. It doesn't smell fruity, or just smells kind of oily, but piggies, for some reason, really like it. They don't mind taking it. Here, let me see if I can, you can see, you just squeeze it here. Take it when you're finished, when you're ready. He's like, oh, I would rather have a cookie. I know you'd rather have a cookie, and, obviously, that's a good thing. But no, come on, focus on this. All right, so if your piggies are not exactly keen on it, now, like I said, most piggies actually really do like it. Come on. Hold on. Come on. Come on, Gizmo. Boom. There you go. You get a little bit on your lip. So you can see he does like it. But when you got a nice, delicious cookie, you'd rather eat that. I can't blame him. So I think there are strategies to help put weight on. I was always curious about whether or not there was heart disease happening, but the vet doesn't seem to think so. But, when you get old, there's only so many, illnesses. And just like people, heart disease and cancer are very common. Now, could he potentially have some kind of a tumor or a lump? He hasn't had a X-ray in a while, so there could be some kind of tumor inside him, but generally you would feel it if you feel under, and he feels squishy, and I don't feel any lumps anywhere on him. So let's get back to the Benebac here for a second, and the critical care. Benebac's a probiotic. It's meant to help digestion, and some people, bodybuilders, people with digestive issues will tell you that if you can't digest your food properly, then how are you going to turn that nutrients into muscle, or have those nutrients go to where they need to go? He's about ready for a nail clip. But so vitamin C also is a good idea, either through the diet or through supplementation. The only thing to be concerned about when it comes to seniors, piggies with arthritis, is that according to Pasadena Exotic Animal Vet Center, they don't recommend more than 100 milligrams for pigs with arthritis. It could exacerbate the arthritis. Now, he does scratch sometimes. I mean, all pigs scratch a little bit. So I gave him a drop of ivermectin the other day. He doesn't show any signs of mange, but it's a good preventative. So on the one hand, aging is inevitable. Let's check his teeth out. Can I see? They look okay. So I think there just may be arthritis in his jaw. Gosh, he's skin and bones, which is upsetting, And so I'm spending as much time as I can giving him a variety of different pellets. I am cutting up his veggies, giving him more, giving him as much as I can, giving him lots of snacks. Now, I don't want to go crazy on the veggies. You don't want to overdo it on the veggies because you don't want them to get gassy, and you want to make sure that they're still eating lots of hay. So herbal blends going on the hay, because his teeth, he needs to keep wearing his teeth down. If he ever got to the point where the arthritis was so bad that he couldn't chew, I think that would be very, very bad news, because guinea pigs, they have to chew. If his teeth are growing normally, but he can't chew, then there's no amount of supplemental critical care. I don't think long term, if he had to have tooth trims constantly because he wasn't able to eat enough hay to wear his teeth down, and he was just being constantly fed critical care, that's just not going to be long term sustainable. And we'd have to make some tough decisions. But his eyes are still bright. He eats a lot. There's a lot of poop. You got a piece of carrot or a piece of cookie on your nose. So as long, and he loves interacting with his neighbors. So as long as that's the case, then I'm just going to take special care of him. And if ever his quality of life is not there, then we'll make those decisions then. Do you want another syringe full? He's like, yeah, but only... You okay? Is that too quick? Now, whenever you're syringing piggies, you always want to be careful that you go slow. I think what may have happened is he may have had a hunk of cookie. You okay? You okay? You want to try a little more? No? You want to finish this last bit? Come on. Now, some piggies will take critical care. Boom. And some piggies don't like it. But in emergency situations, you've got to learn how to administer things via syringe, even if the piggies don't want it. When it comes to critical care, I like the fine grind, but it's also a good idea to cut the tip off of the syringe so that you can get it thicker if you need to. Sometimes it's better to have the liquid thinner. So a lot of stuff to digest here, a lot to think about. But when it comes to seniors, there are some supplements that you can give them. There's, different types of food, like I said. Rolled oats, hay-based cookies, a little extra veggies, foraging mix, critical care, of course, Benebac, to improve that digestion, a little bit of vitamin C, and love, lots of love, because when your piggies get older, they just will become more frail. Unfortunately, that is how it happens for all of us. So, just thought I would talk about that. If you have any special tips that I didn't talk about, please put them in the comments. How do you deal with your senior piggies? So I'd love to hear that. All right, I'm going to let him finish his cookie. And here is my guinea pig care playlist. A lot of different things in here. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button and check out the free guinea pig care guide on my website. All right. Thanks for watching.